Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the weekly Tuesday tip for the Team Freedom Reigns Zoom call. Oh my gosh, hopefully you guys were all on the corporate town hall just now, going over all the things we've learned on the mind body system, what we're looking at moving forward in the mind body system, and what GLP is and is not. Man, that call was fire,
It
like
was
you
freaking
said.
amazing. Seriously, just making sure that we're setting the proper expectations, what we've learned, getting all the information that we got from the panel on how we can go back and win back those people that have tried the GLP-1 system before and maybe didn't get the results that they wanted because we had set the wrong expectations, right? And now we have that whole toolbox with the activation accelerators. And we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. But as we get going here, as a reminder, we always record these calls. We always upload them to YouTube. You can find them under Team Freedom Reigns. The QR code here on this slide will take you directly to that. If you are not subscribed, please go and subscribe, ring the bell, ask for those notifications so you see when we go live and upload new content every single week. And then, of course, these calls have the same exact Zoom ID and passcode every single week. Make sure that you save it into your calendar event so you don't have to go searching for it all the time. So welcome, welcome.
Absolutely. Before we get into this, I want to say something. So I don't think we necessarily gave the wrong impression. I just don't, I think we missed the mark on setting the proper impression because there were so many people that understood what GLP-1 was. It was a household name by the time we came out
I
with our
think they
product.
thought they
They
understood it.
thought, I think the world thought they understood what GLP-1 is in the context of it's a weight loss for type 2 diabetes people or people that were overweight and obese. The GLP-1 was just the common word but the difference between activating it and taking a synthetic version of it clearly wasn't understood. And we literally didn't know, other than the 12-week trial that we had, what all the expectations were. And some of them started to become very obvious very quickly, and some of them were a little less obvious, but a lot of people wanted to, they heard, this mind body system, this gut brain axis reprogramming system, giving you a new relationship with food. A lot of it was kind of like Charlie Brown's teacher, if you guys remember the Peanuts comic strip. When Charlie Brown's teacher was talking, it was like wah 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 wah. That's what people heard. They heard everything else. It was wah wah wah. What they heard was weight loss. And so it became a weight loss categorized product, and then people ran with it. That was the improper expectation that we allowed to be set, but that certainly wasn't corporate's position exclusively. But we did, now that we know what we know, and with a lot deeper understanding of it, we're kind of reframing it and giving the proper expectation. But man, that call was fire.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about that here in a little bit. But first of all, this week at a glance, today is Tuesday. So tomorrow on Wednesday is the Y Life Vantage overview, where you can invite your prospects to take a look at our products and our opportunity. An executive consultant every single week is doing these presentations, doing the heavy lifting for you. So take advantage of it. Be inviting to this call every single week. And of course, don't just wait for this call. There are so many other opportunities for you to be inviting to, as well as recordings that you can be sharing, and then making sure that you utilize that second T in ITT, connecting them with team to get their questions answered properly. Now, on Mondays is when the Monday Momentum email goes out. So many of the things that we'll be talking about today, we did get from that email. And if there is a live link that you need to go to for information, go to the Monday Momentum email that should be in your emails from yesterday. If you don't have it, call corporate, have them help you check the right box so you're getting emails every single week from corporate and for your support team, from your support team. And then on Tuesdays is when the Momentum Live happens. It's at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and those details are always in your email as well. So tomorrow night, be inviting. So these are some important dates that are coming up. We want to make sure that you guys are aware. March 22nd, there is going to be system maintenance. And so after 10 p.m. Mountain Time, so most of us, this will not affect, but if you are on a different side of the world, you might be affected by this. The back office and ordering will be down for maintenance for 1 to 3 hours. Then March 24th, there's going to be a compliance training at 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Those details will be coming in a future email for how you can join that compliance training, but save that time slot in your calendar to be able to hop on there. And then March 25th will be the close of the month with Life Vantage Leaders call. And March 31st is the end of the month, and it is the end of qualification for incentives, as well as where you will be recognized at Global Convention. So lots of big stuff is coming up.
Good, good, good stuff. And remember, until the end of the month, you can get Lemonade Axio in the tub because we're going to go back to the sticks, the to-go sticks that are sampled naturally. It's the what do we call them? Stick packs.
Yeah.
I was like, what
The
what do we call
sticks.
them? The convenient sticks. Yeah. So make sure that you get those while supplies last for the end of the month. And note there is a price increase. And one of the things about raw materials, as far as ingredients are concerned, they're constantly going up all over the world. And one of the things about organic materials, natural materials, plant-based materials, natural materials as it comes to raw materials and ingredients, they are going up worldwide. Why do you think that is? Because the demand is significantly greater. More and more people around the world are wanting to take responsibility for their health. So all the ingredients that go along with the products are going up too, which necessitated a price increase here. But take a look at that. So the consultant price, $59.99. That is the cheapest price. Subscription price, $67.49. And retail, $74.99. 48
sales volume.
Yes.
Okay, so basically on this slide, what's really important for you guys to know is the price is going up April 1st. You're going to be getting lemonade and sticks April 1st, which means you have opportunity right now to be able to load up on some of these tubs at the regular price that we have right now before the price increase, okay? So make sure that all your customers that love Lemonade Axio know that they can get the tubs through the end of the month or until the supply runs out for the regular price and in the tub. But after that, it's gone, gone, gone.
And we've got Global Convention coming up the 24th through the 26th of April. You've heard about it. Register for it if you have not already. Make this a non-negotiable. That $199 that you invest is going to be the greatest investment you can make in your business and in your future with LifeVantage. Don't chance it.
Yeah, and if you're a new consultant, you just very well might have a free ticket to this. If you came in on the business pack, or if you came in on the duplicator, what is that called? The stack with the 3 different MB systems. I keep forgetting that, but the 2 big stacks. If you came in with those 4 consultants on when you enrolled, they came with 2 tickets to Global Convention for free. So make sure that you check in on that and make sure that you know what pack you came in on. And if it was one of the 2 top packs, then you have free tickets and you want to be able to utilize those before they expire. And Global Convention is the best place to do that. Get registered, get your room, and find out how you're going to get there, even if you carpool with people, because there is going to be a lot of amazing things happening there. The welcome party on Thursday night is going to be Disco Speedway themed, which means you can dress up as disco or Speedway, or if you want to combine the 2, you can come however you want. Just dress up. Come and have some fun, right? So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening for the welcome party. Then we've got Kelly Girardi as our keynote speaker at Global Convention. She is an astronaut. She is a speaker. She is an amazing, amazing lady that is really a trailblazer. And so you want to make sure that you're there to hear her talk about how you can move your business forward in the driver's seat, right? And then the recognition gala on Friday night, the theme is Monte Carlo nights. You can either wear cocktail dress or black tie, just dress your best, right? And this is going to be really fun because they're bringing back the LifeVantage Idol. What? If you guys, oh my gosh, if you've ever experienced this before, you know how much fun it is. It's where LifeVantage consultants put in video recordings of them singing and they get picked, and then the top 8 are going to be spotlighted as part of the entertainment for this Friday night event. It's so much fun, and oh my gosh, we've got some of the most talented people in the world. So if you are someone that can hold a key, and I don't mean like keys open doors or on a piano, I mean you can sing. They are accepting submissions up until March 31st. So you want to make sure that you get a recorded video of yourself singing, and you can either do it a cappella or with a track. Just make sure that you sing your lungs out, right? And then make sure that you include your contact info and a quick intro. Now this click here, this thing that says that you need to pick a song from this list here. Guess where you find that? In your Monday Momentum email. It is part of that, and the clickable link in the email works. Okay. So the way that you'll be judged is on your vocal ability, your stage presence, and your overall performance. In the top 8 will be able to, again, go into a public voting round, and that will be at the event at Global Convention. So much fun.
Guess who will not be singing? This guy.
Or this girl. But we can't wait to see you guys and hear you sing. All right, we hope you guys are playing. We're playing, we've been a little bit slow at it because, oh my gosh, the past 10 days, you can still kind of hear it in my voice. We've
Yeah.
been, fighting the crud here at our house. And so we've been a little bit slow this month, but we hope that you guys are playing bingo. We want to be able to, give out some amazing LV swag, be able to get you guys into some mentorship, group mentorship, or possibly even one-on-one with the presidential. So if you are playing, we want to know if you're playing, put playing in the comments. Or if you're like, what is it? We just might have to extend this a month and do this into April because we want to get you guys playing because it can be a lot of fun and it's going to help you grow your business.
Always.
You
and
can talk about this. This came from what
this
we just
just came from the
of.
call. So this is one of the things, and they're setting this up on a good, better, best approach. So the activation accelerators, in other words, very critical. I would even say vital. I would even go as far as to say mandatory components of the ultimate success with the mind-body system. And here they are, the 10 activation accelerators. The first one, prioritizing your protein, because one of the things about your body, if it doesn't get enough protein, it's not going to release the healthy fat, or the unhealthy fat rather, and you will have a problem losing inches and weight. So focusing on and prioritizing protein is a critical component here, and making sure you're getting enough per your body weight. There's the formula there. Staying hydrated, absolutely critically important too. Making sure you're getting enough water, getting enough electrolytes, staying hydrated, avoiding alcohol. We were talking about, we are so glad to see this in there because it's just one of the things that, yes, people can do it casually and it's okay to do it socially, but it does impact your body's overall wellness. It's a toxin. Let's face it.
These are just all decisions. And it's like, if you really want the best outcome, you're going to be making sure that you're focusing on all of these things. But maybe there's some people that are like, hey, I just want to feel better. Maybe they'll pick 4 or 5 of these. It's not something they have to do all of them, but these are the things that corporate has come up with, showing that if you do all of these, you are going to get whatever you want out of it, really.
Right. We took a screenshot of the good, better, best. Did you include it in here?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I didn't.
so how it works is, of these 10, and I'll go through the rest of them here briefly, 1 to 3 is a good approach. In other words, you're committing to 1 to 3 of these. A better approach is 4 to 6. You commit to 4 to 6, or implementing on a consistent basis 4 to 6 of these. And the best is obviously 7 to all 10.
Yeah.
And the people that are getting the best results have already committed to that. All 10, which is how we're getting these results. These are coming from people's results and their people's stories. So ditching refined sugar and processed food. So if it's in a package and it's got some ingredients you can't pronounce, it probably qualifies as refined sugar or processed. Kind of avoid that. Move your body daily. Movement is so critically important. Or even going as far as to saying sitting is the new cancer, because it's in sitting and staying idle and not moving dramatically, and I will say it again, dramatically increases the rate of arthritis in the body. So moving your body daily, strength training at least twice a week, and this is going to be building up to, you, if you can, ideally 30 minutes a day. 5 days a week would be ideal, but you can start with twice a week, and then getting quality sleep. Honoring your circadian rhythms, getting at least 7 hours of good sleep. You ideally using something like an Oura Ring or a Fitbit or both to monitor your time in light REM and deep sleep, and then getting or tracking your food and your movement. If you've got some kind of an app, some kind of a Fitbit or some kind of a thing to monitor your steps and everything, tracking movement, tracking your food, and then creating accountability. This is so critically important. First, committing to yourself, and then finding somebody to commit to, so you're doing it as a team. And then lastly, master your meal timing, making sure you're eating good quality nutrition on a regular basis to give your body the simple nutrition that it needs to optimize your gut-brain axis and ultimately your relationship with food.
Yeah. All right, so now what? We need your stories, okay? So corporate is asking for everybody to submit a written or a visual testimonial through this QR code here. They're going to select 25 stories and highlight them on social media. And that means that if they're highlighting them, it's giving us additional tools to be able to use for sharing the information when we're using social media for prospecting and all of that too. They're also going to highlight the stories at convention for the Experience Center, and there's going to be an exclusive invite to the Driver's Lounge for the 25 people whose stories are selected. So make sure that you submit your story and what your experience has been with the MB system. And we're not just talking about scale, guys. If you were on the town hall, you know they talked very, very, very little about weight loss. They talked about the non-scale wins and victories the very most. So make sure that you're including all of the things that you have noticed that have improved for you since you started using MindBody. And then they're going to start using the testimonials and sharing them on the Monday Momentum newsletter each week as well. That email we talk about that goes out every Monday, you'll start getting those, and then you'll be able to share those stories as well. So make sure that you share your testimonial through this QR code. And we want to make sure that everybody has the resources that they need. There will be an email going out from corporate tomorrow with all the information that they shared on the town hall that they just did before this call. And so it will all be coming to you. So that means that the recording from the town hall is going to be there, a copy of the slide deck, all the social assets, the PDF start guide, which includes those 10 activation accelerators and more that we're going to be able to start using with our customers and our new consultants. It's going to help give them a perfect start guide for utilizing the MindBody system with the proper expectations and what they need to take ownership of, because ownership really is what is the differentiator between someone that has success and someone that doesn't, right? If you're expecting the MindBody system just to be a magic system to be able to help you lose all that weight, you are not going to have the success that you're probably expecting or wanting. So it's as simple as that. Yeah. But if you take ownership and if you're consistent and you do the things that need to be done every single day, every single week, every single month, then you are going to absolutely have the success that you desire. Now, if you don't want to wait for that email, you can use this QR code right here for instant access right now to those assets that we were just talking about. So this QR code will take you directly to, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the hub. So go and grab those assets. Like now. So what's next? All right, they just announced this incentive that for every single consultant that sells at least 300 in sales volume to new customers and consultants from now through the end of the month, you will be eligible for a double sharing bonus for the whole month of April, May, and June. So the sharing bonus, basically, it's one of those bonuses that people get to earn when they are brand new consultants. And so what they're doing is they're resetting all of us back to like we were brand new consultants, like we just enrolled, and we can take advantage of the double sharing bonus. If you're not sure what that is, go check out the Evolve information. It's under the quick links at the bottom of your replicated websites, and go and find the double or the sharing bonus and then double it. So it's a lot of extra cash, all for just bringing in 300 in sales volume from new customers and consultants before the end of March. All right, here we are. So successful versus unsuccessful. We've had a lot of conversation recently around our why and what we need to have in place to be able to really have the go to it all the way through reaching and accomplishing our goals, right? So we want to just kind of talk a little bit about why some people are successful and why some are not in business. And we were having this conversation and we came up with a bunch of different things that we're going to share with you tonight. And then at the end of this, if people have any questions about the town hall or there's any questions that you guys have, we are going to do a live Q&A. So if you are on Facebook, if you want to hop on over to the link for Zoom and hop on here with us live, you can do that. And if not, then you can put your questions in the comments of Facebook and we will try to capture them and answer those in the Q&A. Okay. So you want to go in
Yeah.
here?
So what are the key factors that lead to success or failure? And let me just define failure. Failure is when you quit because you might not be having the success that you want, or you may be already on the path of success, but you're never a failure until you quit. And so let's just really define that. So maybe the factors that lead to success or maybe delayed success or whatever your experience is, but do not consider yourself a failure until you've quit. And if you haven't quit, you may not be where you want to be, but it doesn't mean you failed. So, what are the key factors that lead to success or failure? And the first one is going to be clarity and purpose, is identifying what it is. What do you want? What is your vision? What do you want and why does it matter to you? Do you have it on a vision board? I love vision boards because I'm a very visual person. So if you know what you want and you see it on a daily basis and it's constantly reminded you, you're constantly reconnecting with your why every day. But without a strong why, motivation can fade or just literally disappear altogether. So first, clarity and purpose. What do you want? Why does it matter to you?
Yeah, and then the second one is consistent action. Way too many people start something and they expect to go from here to there like overnight, right? But where we need to have those proper expectations again is that it's small daily habits that compound over time that get you to accomplishing that goal or that why. Those who struggle are the ones that lack consistency. They're ones that start today and they do it good for a couple days and then they stop for a week or they stop for a month and they do it again for a couple days. But all of this leads to starting and stopping. And if you think about pushing a car, once you get that car moving, it's really quite easy to push and gain momentum. And even though that car weighs so much more than you and it seemed like it would be so hard to do, but if you stop after you've got it moving and let it stop, you have to start with the hard work again. Yeah, if you push consistently and you get it moving, it will start to accelerate almost seemingly on its own. And we know it's not it's on its own, but it's through your consistent actions that get you the results that you want.
Absolutely. And resilience and adaptability. One of the things about business and life in general, challenges are inevitable. Nobody is exempt from challenges or obstacles or pitfalls. I mean, just think of the industry as a whole. It is a global industry. It is affected by things that happen in the world, news in the world, events of the world, global changes, weather, all kinds of things can affect a certain business, especially when you have an international business. But challenges are inevitable. So whether we have a change in the comp plan, we have an increase in price of a product, we actually have a discontinuing of a product or something like that, or we don't have a kind of a product that another company may have, and we look at all of these things. These are just how it is in business. So one, get used to that, own that, because the successful people realize that's just part of business, and you have to adjust. And you have to keep going instead of giving up or complaining. The worst thing you can do is complain about it and do nothing about it. And the worst thing you can do is complain about it to your downline. So anytime you have a complaint, take it upline. Anytime you've got praise, take it downline. That's one of the first rules of network marketing. The greatest way to sour the momentum and the morale of your team is to start saying something negative that is affected by your downline or that your downline hears. You don't want to do that. And so, but realize resiliency and adaptability are some of the most key successful principles that the most successful people, and not just network marketing, in any industry, it's part of the game.
Yeah. And one of the things that makes me think of is that what you focus on multiplies, right? And so you want to make sure that you're focusing on the positive. We have to address something that may not be like super fun to address sometimes, but you don't want to focus on it because you don't want more of those things. So make sure that you're focusing on the positive. If we're going to use the mind body system as an example, do you know that we have well over 80% of people that use the mind body system that have had mind blowing experiences and benefits? And yet you may be someone that you've heard, one or two people, or you've had a couple customers that have quit, and that's all you've focused on. And so you think the mind body system doesn't work, right? So we've got to get over focusing on the things that are not positive and really focus on those things that are going to grow your business, because that's what we want to grow.
Yeah.
And then the accountability and support. Guys, you know, you can have your enroller, you can have your upline support team, the executives, the presidentials, our corporate staff, all of those people that are cheering you on and helping you in this business, which is so, so very important. We want to hold you accountable. Yet there is also a time that you have to take on a little bit of ownership and decide that you are going to be that person that is holding yourself accountable and then holding other people accountable and supporting them too, right? Because do you know that we need your support? We need you to help us be accountable. So that's why it's like with the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page and the different tools that we provide for you, we need you showing up in there, because we are all in this together. We are all coaching each other. We've all learned, we've all grown, we all have learning to do and growth to do, right? So locking arms and doing it together is where this key is so important in accountability and support.
Absolutely. And the people that are your accountability and support don't have to be part of your direct line of support. They could be people you don't even know. Like Marcy and I listen to podcasts a lot. We read books by Tony Robbins and Ed Milet and other people, Zig Ziglar, people that aren't even alive anymore. So just successful people in business. We're constantly gathering information to help us with that coaching or a supportive community. It doesn't have to be network marketing, but even within network marketing, people outside of our company, like Eric Worre or Todd Falcone or Rob Sperry, or a multitude of other people that we listen to are being influenced by to help us be the best business people we can be, mentor people we can be, and network marketing people we can be. And it doesn't have to be people in your own line of support or even in your own company, so long as you're getting it.
Yeah.
And then self-discipline and delayed gratification, another huge one. So disciplining yourself, pacing yourself, and putting off little wins, or keeping the little wins to hold off on the big win until they start stacking up and momentum gets building and things of that nature. But it's requiring sacrifices now. I remember when I first joined LifeVantage, hearing from Mark Shinsato, short-term imbalance for long-term balance. And I didn't quite understand it until I was forced with making the decision to sell my practice and going back to being a stay-at-home dad to be able to raise my kids, but I had to be able to build the business up to a certain point to do that. That was the delayed gratification. And then it just helping people understand that you may fail, but only if you quit. But the whole thing about this is delayed gratification, keeping self-discipline, getting up every day and doing what it needs to be done. It's that consistency and sustainability of your business.
Yeah. And something that's really important for us to remember as we are sharing this opportunity with other people and people join you as consultants is that this is a societal problem. I still remember back in the 1970s, yes, I'm dating myself, when my dad brought home our first microwave. We thought that was the coolest thing. We could have our food done that fast. At the ding, right? The ding, our food was done. We didn't have to wait hours for it to cook, all of that kind of stuff, right? And yet, what we've learned now in 2025 is that the microwaves kill the nutrients in your food, and that getting something fast doesn't necessarily mean it is the best thing for you, right? Fast food is not the best thing for you. We know that now, right? And yet we have a society that has the microwave mentality, and they expect to get everything fast, right? And so when you're coaching people, when they first start as consultants, keep that in mind, that they have been programmed, conditioned to have those expectations of success happening overnight. But we know that's not how it happens, right? And so having the understanding that that's where their minds might be, because that's the way society has really conditioned them to be. So give them grace, give yourself grace, and then coach them into a reprogramming that good things take time.
Yes, they do.
All the good things take time.
All the good things.
All of them. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about comparison, because there's two different roles that comparison can take. There can be the positive comparison role, which is where healthy comparison can actually encourage you and motivate you to to work hard and to maybe even have some healthy competition with somebody else, looking at them and it's like, oh my gosh, I see how they're doing that and I can totally do that and I can do it better, those types of things. So there can be a healthy example of comparison. So this is where you're admiring what the other person's doing. You're not envying what they're doing or what they have, right? You're using their success as a roadmap rather than a reason to feel like you aren't good enough, right? And then on the other side of it, there's the rotten attitude that can come from the negative side of comparison. As a matter of fact, I coined a term, comparitis. And that is basically the most fatal itis of them all. It is guaranteed to kill, steal, and destroy all of your goals, your hopes, your dreams, and your purpose. If you compare yourself to somebody else and it brings you down, right? It stops you from doing the things that you are capable of doing. It makes you feel inadequate. It makes you think that somebody else has everything better than you have. And it gives all kinds of self-doubt that keeps you from moving forward, right? So this is something that can cause people to quit. So there's two different roles. And so you really want to make sure that this double-edged sword is not working against you, that you are choosing the right comparison to use in being successful in your business, because successful people compare to drive themselves forward because they know that they're just as good or maybe better than what they've seen someone else do, be, or what they have, right? So make sure that you choose wisely between the two different roles of comparison. Anything you want to add in there?
Yeah, what just made me, I don't know why, but I instantly thought of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, that back in a couple decades ago playing in the NBA, and they both credit each other for the level of success, and they're both in the NBA Hall of Fame. And so Larry Bird for the Celtics, Magic Johnson for the Lakers. And what they would do after every game is look at the scores and the highlights of the other player and congratulate them, wish them well, but try to go out and outdo him the next night. And so they were constantly
they would
competing
trash
against each
talk
other.
and they would, oh my gosh, they would trash talk.
Badly, but with mutual respect on the court. And it wasn't until, if you know the story, when Magic Johnson was forced to retire because of his HIV virus. It said Larry Bird talked about at his retirement when Magic Johnson was the one kind of congratulating him on. He said, the day that the worst day in my career was the day you retired. And it was Larry Bird talking about Magic Johnson. He goes, because I instantly lost my edge because the person I was always competing against was no longer there. And he realized how important having that mutual respect, but always trying to outdo the other guy, but praising the other guy, congratulating him, and wanting to go out and do better. So it's that healthy competition. And both of them have said many, many times that they owe their careers to each other and the direct competition that they had against each other with mutual admiration.
Yeah. So just remember, those that are successful are focused on being successful, and those who have failed have been focused on those being successful.
Yeah.
Right. So focus is so important, and choose, the positive, the healthy example of comparison.
Yeah.
So inconsistency. So this one right here is probably the biggest thing.
It's the dream killer.
And I mean, this is something that Erica Dell just got done talking about on the town hall, which was so, so good. All of the nuggets that the panel shared were amazing. So if you weren't on that, you didn't see that, make sure that you watch the recording. It will be in your email tomorrow, or a few slides back, you saw the QR code that you can get that really quickly. So inconsistency, it's one of the biggest reasons people fail in any area of life. So we're going to be talking about wellness, finances, relationships, and maybe even your spirituality. So progress requires momentum. Remember my example of pushing that car that won't start, or did you remember how we had to push to start cars?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, we had to do
Pop
that.
the clutch.
Pop the clutch. Yep, all that good stuff.
I remember.
But the thing is that once you get it moving with consistent actions, it gets moving faster and faster. But every time you stop and have to start over, you've lost that momentum. So in wellness, what can that look like? It can look like skipping workouts. You just don't feel like it that day. It might be you don't drink enough water. You're dehydrated. You're overly stressed. You have poor sleep. You're not getting enough sleep. You're staying up way too late. And maybe you're consistently changing the way that you're eating. You're not focused on the right things for a long enough period of time, and maybe eating too much. Serving size is a big deal. That's something that they also talked about, is that we absolutely can out eat our activated GLP-1, meaning our GLP-1 is working now if you're using the mind body system. But if you are not focused on how many calories you're taking in, and you have way too many calories and you're having way too big of servings, you will be gaining weight. So all of these things can prevent those long-term results because you are not being consistent in your wellness.
Yes. And then in finances, inconsistent savings or investing means missing out on compound growth. That's a huge potential or a huge component to it too. And also is living beyond your means. People wanting to avoid that delayed gratification and putting something on a credit card, buying something they can't afford to impress people that they don't even like, which is the biggest reason why people get into credit debt and into financial problems with that. So in the finances, inconsistency, remaining consistent is the greatest way to get ahead and stay ahead. So huge in finances.
Well, and if you're not being consistent in your daily activities for business growth, that's also going to
Yep.
affect your finances, right?
The
And then
DMO is not being, it doesn't work by itself. You got to put in the action.
well, and it's a DMO, meaning daily method of operation, not just an MO, a method of operation, right? So DMO means daily consistency. And then in relationships, communication is huge. And if you are not communicating on a consistent basis or giving time consistently, it can absolutely weaken those relationships and connections. So consistency is so key for success in any venture.
Absolutely. And in spirituality, this is something Marcy and I can speak firsthand to, because since January 1st, we've been sitting down every morning and going through scripture and reading together. And I think we're on 75 or 70 now. And so it's just so important to watch the progress of the things that we've learned, that we've read before. I've read the Bible in a year, 3 consecutive years,
That's so
but never
different, though.
like this,
Yeah.
where we're literally reading it word for word rather than listening to it. And all that we had the conversation this morning, there's so many songs that I can see in reading that story. Well, that's where that song came from, or that's where that spiritual hymn came from. And understanding and meaning, well, that's what that lesson means. Oh my gosh, it's just so much more alive when you're doing it on a consistent, in our case, a daily basis, and starting our day that way.
Yeah, so the key to success is not being perfect. It's staying consistent, right? So even when you don't feel like it. So this is something that you have to make the decision, because decisions are not based off of your emotions or how you're feeling. You make a decision, and so you do it because you made the decision, right? So those small daily actions over time will create the massive results that leads to success. People that are successful in business are consistent.
So true. So what can we do right now to change the course? Well, success starts with small, intentional steps taken consistently. And there's 3 things that we want to talk about now that you can do right now to start moving forward in success in any area of your life. Number 1, get clear on your goal. Clarity and vision. What is your why? Do you know? If not, take the time necessary. Spend 5 to 10 minutes with yourself. Just take a mental inventory of what do you want? What does it look like? Why do you want it in all areas, and especially wellness, finances, relationships, and spirituality, whatever the case may be. Get it clear, write it down.
Yeah, so an example of that, instead of saying, I want to be healthier, so we want to have it be very clear. We want to have it defined, right? You can say, I'll work out for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and eat whole foods 80% of the time, meaning fresh, whole foods. Okay, so see how the difference there, with one's being very not specific, undefined. I want to be healthier. What does that look like?
Yeah, can't.
So the last part there is breaking it down into a clear directive of how you're going to get what you want. Number 2 is take one immediate action, because taking the action is going to build upon the next action. Because remember, what we always talk about is that you need to make sure that you celebrate everything that you do even if it's really, really small, because those small wins matter to your brain. And the compound effect of taking small actions over and over and over again is going to become a compounded effect into your success. So you want to do one small thing today that aligns with your goal. So whatever goal you have set, we've got different examples here, like on wellness, it could be drink a glass of water or do 10 push-ups, like right now. Or you can say, after I brush my teeth in the morning, I am going to drink a glass of water, a full glass of water, right? Or I'm going to do 10 push-ups, because it's important to compound those small actions too, so that you have habits that you're creating. Yes, habit stacking that will automatically, your brain will like, okay, I just brushed my teeth, and so I have to drink this glass of water. Or I just brushed my teeth, I need to do those 10 push-ups right now. And then with finances, transfer $10 to savings or review your last 3 expenses. So this is just one small thing in that finances. Or you can even make the decision that I am going to use ITT every day, right? Invite, tool, team. It doesn't mean you're going to put someone through the whole thing every day, because you can't really do that most of the time. But you could invite someone every day. You could follow up with someone every day. You could use a tool every day. Those types of things. One small thing that you can do immediately. And then with your relationships, send a kind message to a loved one. You could do that right now. It'd take you 15 seconds, and more than likely, you'll get a message back that's going to be like, I don't know, depending on the relationship, they might be, are you okay? Right. Because if it's outside of what your norm is, but you want to be able to be developing those relationships. And so sometimes it takes doing something that's out of the norm, but just do something small. And then in your spirituality, take 5 minutes and just sit there and just meditate on what you have to be grateful for. Maybe sit there for 5 minutes and pray. Maybe sit there with 5 minutes and just write in a journal, whatever it is that will draw you closer to God is who we draw close to. Take that 5 minutes if you're not taking any time at all, and that will get you started on your way to success just by doing one small thing each day towards your goal.
Absolutely. And then 3, eliminate one distraction, remove barriers to success. And once you identify one, you can do more than one, but let's just start there. So identifying one habit or distraction that holds you back and commit to minimizing it. So examples here, limit social media scrolling if it makes you compare yourself. I would say limit social media scrolling, period. Because it is such a distraction.
You lose time. It's like
totally. And before I get into the next one, stop procrastinating, I would tell people, and it's interesting now being back into very part-time practice, I'm having about 50 to 75 interactions a day on Mondays and Wednesdays that I didn't typically have that many in a day. And there's one thing I'm telling people over and over and over and over again: turn off the news. Because people come in riled up on one side of the equation or the other. And it's like, just turn the freaking news off and watch how much happier you'd be, or less frustrated you'd be, or less anxious stressed. You'd be, or less stressed. Just turn the news off. You're programming your mind in a negative way. That's certainly one distraction. Remove the barriers, but stop procrastinating by setting a 5-minute timer to just start it. And I love Mel Robbins' approach to this, the 5-second rule, because there is something to be said about your brain. If you make a decision to do something and you don't act on it within 5 seconds, you lose the momentum, and 99% of the time it's going to be gone. So, like a thing I have every morning when I wake up, especially now where we're starting to get a little warmer weather, but when it's cold outside and I know I have to get up, and I know peeling back those covers is going to be really uncomfortable as the cold air rushes in, and I have to make sure I don't pull it all the way back so it doesn't go rush in all the way to Marcy's side and wake her up. Just get out, pull the covers back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump out of bed and start my day, because I could easily just lie there, hit the snooze, and be comfortable. Nope. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump out of bed. Thank you, Mel Robbins, for that. And then replace junk food with a healthier alternative. This is a lot easier said than done, because it's once you gain the momentum, it's that consistency, like Marcy was talking about, pushing that car. It's the same thing with this. Junk foods, snack foods, eating in between meals, snacking in between meals. Your body craves what's in your blood. Your body doesn't crave things you don't give it when you're cheating. Your body only craves what it's already used to. Think about that. So if it's craving stuff, and you're like, oh, you're kind of looking, do I cheat? Do I go into, no, your body change those little habits and watch your body start crave. Wouldn't it be awesome if your body craved healthy stuff all the time? It can when you replace unhealthy stuff with healthy stuff. So get rid of a junk food item and include a healthy item. Swap out the Pop Tarts for carrot sticks or something like that. Watch how much difference it can make.
Absolutely. So when we're talking about why those people that have success have it and those that maybe don't have the success that they want, it really does come down to proper expectations, taking those small steps consistently day after day after day. It's not about massive changes overnight.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. It's those small intentional actions that are taken for a long enough period of time to get you to your success. Remember, it's not like a microwave. You're not going to start something and be successful. And if you look at somebody else and you think that they got it that way, you are missing the 12 years that got them to where they are, right? So just keep that in mind. These are the reasons why some people are successful and others are not. And you can absolutely make these small changes so that you can get the success that you want in your business, in your life, in your relationships, in your wellness, your finances, whatever it is, your spirituality. We challenge you to do that. And if you want us to hold you accountable, let us know. We are happy to help you, and we will be looking to you for accountability as well. Okay, so if there is anyone that has any Q&A or any questions from the corporate town hall, if you were on that and if you left it and you still had questions, they did such a great job going through everything, but maybe you have a question or two. If you're on Zoom with us, you can absolutely unmute, and I'm actually going to stop this share here. We know we've got Carol with us and we've got Lori on here with us live. If you guys have a question, or if there's any questions that are on Facebook right now live, please go ahead and type it into the comments and we will answer those questions. And if not, then we will be shutting this down here in like just a few seconds here. Anything that you want to add to the end of the call topic? And
Just that I love the fact that what we can do is it's kind of along the lines of what it takes to build a network marketing business. Corporate's on board, and what is it? Plan, do, review. So when we release a new product, we plan for that. We release it and then we review. What are some things we could have changed? How could we have done better on the branding? What could we have done more assets?
what
What could
else
we have
can we
done in the
study?
narrative? What else could we? I love it when it said we remain curious. That's one of the things that stood out to me so much in the town hall today. When the company is asking the questions, the same questions that the field leadership is asking, we know we're in momentum, or we know we're in lockstep. And that is one of the greatest positions as a consultant in network marketing to be in, is that you are in lockstep with your corporate team. And that is so rare. It is an absolute anomaly and a unicorn in network marketing. We are also blessed to have that. So, yeah, just excited about where we're going, excited that we're asking better questions, excited that we're having ongoing studies, and we're getting a tremendous amount of feedback from the field. And that's another thing I love about corporate. When the field gives feedback, corporate listens.
Yes.
And we figure stuff out together. The field advisory board, the scientific advisory board, and the open access to the C-suite executives, to the distributor workforce, to the consultant leadership is so significant in making big strides in the company. So I'm just excited about where we're going with this.
Yeah, me too, for sure. All right, guys. Now I will tell you that if you're not registered for a global convention, something else that they mentioned on the town hall is that there's going to be an incentive specifically for all of those people that are at global. If you're not at global, you will not be able to participate. So get there. We want you there. All right. So Lori, thank you so much for being on here with us. Carol, thank you for being on here with us live on Zoom. And we would love to invite any of the rest of you that want to start hopping on here with us on Zoom on Tuesday nights. We love having people on the Zoom call with us. We know many of you, it's much more convenient. That Society, it killed us, didn't it? But we appreciate you catching it on Facebook too. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, guys, we love you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
You're awesome.